Reporting for WHIP News, I'm Taylor Allen, and today I am with a very special guest today. I'm with one of the POPPYN volunteers, Josh Childs, and I'm with the University Community Collaborative, Nuala Cabral. POPPYN, which is presenting on the perspective of Philly Youth News, is an award-winning youth news program based at the University Community Collaborative, a youth leadership organization at Temple University. POPPYN highlights the positive things youth are doing in Philly and young people's perspective on a range of issues such as youth homelessness, college access, mental health, environmental justice, and the foster care system. POPPYN's crew is comprised of high school students and college student facilitators who meet on Temple's campus to produce 3-hour, 30-minute episodes per year. POPPYN airs every Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Philadelphia's public access channel, PhillyCam, which is Comcast 66 and Verizon 29. Episodes and segments are also available on YouTube. All right, well, thank you guys for, first of all, even coming in. But I always want to talk to Josh straight off the bat. You said that you are a student right now in 11th grade, right?
Yes.
In high school. What school do you come from, actually?
I'm currently attending Science Leadership Academy at Bieber.
Okay. And you say you want to be a journalism major, or you want to pursue journalism in the grand sphere. What exactly made you want to do that?
I mean, I guess it started off when I joined the collaborative. You know, there's a lot of things that was going on. There's a lot of things that are still going on in the city of Philadelphia that need to be talked about that really isn't. I read this quote, whoever controls the media controls the mind. And, you know, so I know that sometimes the news gives, like, you know, a twisted, biased opinion on some things. But, you know, as a journalist, you need to, you know, state the truth.
No, that's great. And how many years have you been with the collaborative? Well, with POPPYN specifically.
Well, in the summer,
Okay.
it'll be 2 years.
Oh, okay. All right. So let's dive in straight into the work about, like, the foster care video that you showed to City Council. Okay, first of all, how long has this been in the works? Do you know?
Oh, the foster care episode took a long time. About 3-4 months plus, I think.
Wow,
Yeah.
okay. Who brought up the idea? How did it come about?
Well, as a group, we all came up with the idea of the foster care program episode. You know, we have a couple kids in POPPYN, including myself, that had trouble with the system. So we thought that we needed to, you know, eliminate some of the common misconceptions in the foster care system that people have and, you know, show other youth in the foster care system where they can go to get help, you know, if they're feeling down.
And what was the experience like being in front of City Council and showing your work, your product?
It was scary. Like, honestly, it was scary because, you know, I've never been in a room with that many important people, that many people that can, you know, actually make changes in, you know, the foster care system. So, but it was fun. They were listening. They had honest questions. They honestly, you know, reached out to us, and they wanted to see change. They didn't want to just hear what we had to say and dismiss us. They actually are willing to cooperate with us and make changes within the foster care system.
What goal, at least, did you have going into this project, especially about foster care?
Well, going into this project, I just wanted to, you know, clear up. So I have a lot of friends that, you know, when they have troubles with their parents, like if there's something not going their way at home, they'd be like, oh, if I was in foster care, this wouldn't happen. And, you know, what I try to express is, you know, the grass isn't always greener on the other side. So we can tell them, you know, what's really going on in the foster care system, what changes need to be made, and just express how we feel to DHS to let them know that as children, we have voice, and our voice matters.
And just for viewers who may not know, DHS stands for the Department of Human Services. I'm correct with that, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, how do you feel about your finished product? Are you proud of it?
I'm very proud of it. It has gotten a lot of attention, you know, with City Council, CUA, which stands for Community Umbrella Agencies. There's multiple one of those in Philly, and, you know, it's getting the attention of almost all of them.
What was your favorite aspect of creating it and just the product itself?
Creating it, I thought it was fun because I met a lot of new people and I got a lot of new insights on what I can do myself to help better prepare myself for aging out of the foster care system, you know, living on my own, and things that I could do just to survive in the real world. And I guess the most interesting thing after the finished product was how many people actually cared about, because this is a very sensitive topic, and a lot of people don't like to talk about it. So the amount of people that actually care about this issue, it touched me.
All right. You did show to city council. You did tell me they seem receptive to your product. But what do you specifically want Philadelphia to do about the issues relating to foster care?
I mean, I just want them to keep a closer eye on the foster parents that they're letting watch children and tend more to the children's needs. If a child has, a behavior issue, like look into why. Like, what did they go through in their biological family? Like you're taking a child out of the care of their parents. That's going to have some psychological impacts on, somebody. So, that and the amount of work that they put on their social workers, nobody should have to, take care of like 10, 20 kids. That drains people fast, and that's taking away time for the children who really need it.
What do you think about your foster care experience that really stuck with you?
I mean, my experience in the foster care system wasn't really the best, and it wasn't the worst.
Okay.
But I guess the experience that stuck out with me the most was I was living with, a really older family, and they raised me from about 9 years old. And, without them helping me, even though they're old school, yelling at me for things that I didn't think that was wrong, they really helped me. I don't think I would be the person I am today without them. This outspoken, being able to, speak on the radio. I don't think I would be able to do this if they wouldn't encourage me, or if I didn't have the team that I have now.
What support do you have in addition to your foster family?
I also have the POPPYN coordinator, Nuala, as well as the POPPYN crew. Shout out to you guys. I also have the love and support of teachers and students at my school, and not just my school, every school that I've ever been to.
And what is one thing you would like the general public, who probably doesn't even know this is a huge issue, what do you want them to take away from the episode?
If you know anybody in foster care, try to look out for them, especially if they're going through something tough. If you see them, like let's say if you're a school teacher, if you see, a child having a tough time, try to bring their hopes up. Try to, get them out of that little slum that they're in. Make sure that they feel as though everything's going to get better.
Just give me one, misconception that just bothers you, that you would like to say, this is not true about foster kids.
If you're in foster care, that means your parents don't want you. And that's, absolutely not true. It's I guess 20, not even 25, 5% of the times parents do not want their children. If that, it's a really small amount. But, you have to take in consideration of what happens to the child. The parents may not be ready to have that responsibility of a child right now. They can always, later on in the road, get their lives together so they can get their child back. Some housing may not be stable. So there's always a reason for a foster child being in foster care. It's not just because, your parents don't want you, or your parents is on drugs, or, it's a way bigger issue than that.
If you could speak to, a young foster kid, and you could only have one thing to, say them to encourage them, what would you say?
It gets better. Since I'm not going to have the chance to tell them all this, if I had one thing to say to them, I'll be like, okay, it gets better. Life is, it's sometimes up, it's sometimes down, but it's never going to be hard forever.
For the second portion of this interview, we didn't actually get to speak to Nuala Cabral for the second part. Honestly, what is it like working with kids?
Working with POPPYN is amazing. I'm really proud of the work that they've been doing, and particularly with this episode about the foster care system, which was really inspired by 3 of our youth producers and 1 of our leader corps members, which are college facilitators, who have experience in the system. They had a story to tell, and they were really brave about sharing their personal story. And then also it was an opportunity for the rest of the team to learn about the issue and to highlight different resources in the city that are available to foster youth. And so this episode is a combination of storytelling, personal storytelling from our own youth producers, and then also opportunity to learn about resources in the city that support foster youth, whether they're transitioning out of care or whether they're in the system but having trouble finding a good fit, or whether it's through school or a safe home to live. And so I'm really proud of them for coming together to share their story and to amplify the voices of foster youth in the city.
Why did you choose to do this? You didn't have to.
When it comes to choosing our episodes, we try to choose themes or topics that the young people are actually interested in or already invested in or personally connected to. And so this episode was a perfect example of that. It really started through a conversation where some of our producers realized that they had experience in care and they didn't even know. Like, I remember Josh didn't even know that Don was in the system, and Kayla didn't know that Don was either, and y'all didn't know that Kayla, who's one of our college facilitators, had experience in care. And so it really came from that conversation to thinking about, okay, well, do we have a story to tell? Yeah, we do.
Reporting for WHIP News, I'm Taylor Allen.